Hey guys, it's What If Dark, and this will be part 1 of What If Luffy had 7 devil fruits. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start when Luffy is in the bar with Shanks and his crew, and they're talking to each other, but then bandits destroy the door of the bar and ask for sake. Once they were told that they have no more left, Shanks apologizes to the bandits for drinking the last of the sake, and offers the bandits the last bottle of sake. But when he offers it, the bandit smashes the bottle, leaving a mess. And then the bandit walks out. After he walks out, Shanks and his whole crew started laughing, making Luffy even more enraged. He couldn't take it anymore. So he stood up on the chair and yelled, "Why didn't you fight back?" Shanks told him that there was no reason to fight because it was just about some sake. The still enraged Luffy angrily sits back down and sees a chest with a weird-looking fruit. He picks it up and starts to eat. As he finished the fruit, Shanks looks at Luffy eating and immediately asks him what he's eating. After he swallowed the last of it, Shanks realized what he was eating and got up and grabbed Luffy. After he grabbed Luffy, he turned him upside down and started to yell, "Spit it out, spit it out." As he was shaking Luffy upside down, Luffy suddenly stretched down and hit his head on the ground, shocking everyone. When he stretched back, he was confused. He didn't understand what just happened. Shanks then explained to Luffy that what he ate was a devil fruit and that he is no longer able to swim. After he realized that, big white wings sprouted out of his back, shocking everyone in the bar. Even Luffy. Luffy was confused. He didn't understand. First he stretched, now he has wings. He doesn't understand this power, but he thinks it's really cool. So he asks Shanks to train with him. Shanks refuses and tells him that he has to leave soon, that he actually has to leave tomorrow. Luffy, hearing this, gets sad, asking Shanks to take him with him. Shanks refuses and tells him that now since you ate a devil fruit, you can't swim, so what's the point in being a pirate? Luffy gets mad and sits back up on the chair. Fuck. And stands back up on the chair, declaring that he will become the next pirate king, shocking everyone in the bar. In this, Luffy never went up to the bandits and tried to fight him because what Shanks said, and that it was just about sake. There was no need to fight. Let's skip to the next day when Shanks and his crew are about to leave. They set sail and they're about to leave when Luffy comes running up. He tells them that he wants to go on their ship with them and begging them to take them with him. Shanks says no. And when he saw Shanks leaving and that he couldn't go with them, he got filled with a bunch of mixed emotions, causing him to unlock his Conqueror's Haki. This shocks everyone on the crew, because they know that Shanks has it and they know what it feels like. Shanks immediately jumps off the boat and tells them to dock again. And then he runs up to Luffy and tells him that he will train him. This getting Luffy super excited, and Luffy just hops on the ship. And in this, Ace, Sabo, and Luffy were brothers. They knew each other since they were babies. So, yeah. Let's skip to when they're out on sea. The first ship they pass by is Whitebeard's. They hop on Whitebeard's ship, and Luffy introduces himself. Whitebeard introduces himself and explains his powers. Luffy was really interested and his eyes were glowing. As he was so excited from hearing about his power, Luffy accidentally uses the Quake fruit, or the Tremor fruit, shocking everybody, including Whitebeard. Whitebeard then said, "Kid, I'm gonna train you." And then Luffy got stars in his eyes again. Luffy then walked with Whitebeard to the open part of the ship and started their training. After about a year of training with Shanks and Whitebeard, slightly with a little bit of hockey and a little bit of swordsmanship, they go, because Luffy has gotten a good grip of his tremor, and they feel like it's time to go. The next person they go by is Rayleigh. Rayleigh then teaches Luffy about hockey for the next 2 years. And after the 2 years, Luffy has gotten a good grip over hockey and conquers hockey. Rayleigh is shocked by his growth from just a young child in his hockey. He knew that he would be a great pirate one day. And then he was off with Shanks again. The next person they go by is Mihawk. Luffy introduces himself to Mihawk, and Mihawk is shocked by what he hears about his powers and hockey. Mihawk then wants to train him in swordsmanship, so he does. For the next 2 years, Mihawk trains Luffy in the swordsmanship, and non-stop too. At this point, Luffy is 13, and he's a great swordsman. He's very proficient in hockey, and he has great use in his devil fruits. He can use the tremor fruit well. The element fruit, he has like half control over. He can control air, fire, earth, water, and lightning, and ice, healing, and a little bit of blood. Not really, but he can also use his angel fruit well, and he has found out about his immortality one, because once he was training with Rayleigh on the island, 48 seasons in a year, and one of the animals bit his head off, and it bit his head off because he wasn't using his Mochi Mochi no Mi, which he wasn't, because he can turn on and off devil fruits because of the power no Mi, and shocking Rayleigh, thinking that he just died, but then he sees his head go back to his neck and that he's perfectly fine, shocking Rayleigh. Also, when Luffy was training with Mihawk, I'm gonna say he got that scar on his chest because Mihawk was using hockey in his sword when he sliced him. And also about the immortal fruit, if he gets a sword slash like to the neck with hockey and his head comes off, it'll still heal, but it'll take a lot of time. But with the sword, he didn't really, since it wasn't like a fatal wound, the immortal fruit wasn't working as hard as it would have if it was fatal. I don't know if that made any sense to you, but it made sense to me. Basically what I'm saying is that if Luffy gets a wound that's not fatal, but it's dealt with hockey, it'll leave a scar, but it'll still heal. If it's a fatal wound, the immortal fruit will push its limits and heal it completely, though it will take a lot of time. Luffy is gonna have this sword, the one he got in Wano, but it's not gonna be in Wano because let's just say Mihawk had it on him, so he gave it to Luffy. And yeah, so after all the training, he was about 13, 14, so he went back to Fuchsia Village to meet with Ace and Sabo, and yeah, so when he got with Ace and Sabo, he teaches them a little bit of hockey, well, at least what he can teach, and Ace and Sabo decide that they want to join Luffy on his crew. So they're going to wait until he's 13 and they're about 20. But they go on little adventures to little islands in the East Blue while training, like for hockey. While training, Ace finds a fruit, sort of like the power fruit. I don't know what to call it, but it's going to have 3 devil fruit abilities. The flame fruit, the lightning fruit, and let's say the ice fruit. Kind of like Todoroki. And Sabo finds another one like Ace with 3 abilities in it, except this one's gonna be one I thought about, the cloud fruit. So he can like fly or turn into a cloud. It's Logia. And then I know it's kind of like disrespect, but like I'm gonna say his has 2, and it's the cloud fruit and the Opie Opie no Mi, both of those in one. So Ace will kind of be like the medic on the crew. And yeah, so when Luffy turns 17, they all leave on a pretty big boat. I would say like half the size of the Mary. Yeah, about that. And they leave to, set sail. And when they set sail, they whirlpool. I'm just gonna say it goes the same, because Luffy was, let's say, asleep. And yeah, so they get sucked into the whirlpool, and Ace puts Luffy in a barrel. They all get in the barrel and they float. Then, of course, they get picked up by that little, like, party ship. I don't really know what it was. And Alvida attacks it. When Alvida attacks it, her men take those barrels and try to open it. Before they open it, Luffy jumps up and hits one of them in the face, saying and yelling that he had a great sleep. That wakes up Sabo and Ace. They get out and they beat up the other guy and tell them to run. Kobe is just shocked and frightened at what just happened. Kobe then tells them that they should probably get off the ship as soon as possible. The 3 ask Kobe, why? Why is that? And Kobe immediately starts shaking and says, because Alvida. And they just like raise an eyebrow. They're like, who's that? And he's like, you don't know who that is? I'm like, no, we just want food. And he's like, okay. And they go and eat food. Those 3 goons tell Alvida, and Alvida immediately goes there. Quickly though, before she could go into the wall, Luffy senses her with his observation hotkey, immediately going outside and just dealing with her, Gum Rocket, and sends her flying. Then he knocks out all the crew members with Conqueror's hotkey. And that's around when Luffy, Nami escapes, and he locks eyes with her, and then he winks, and then she blushes. As you know, it's whatever it's called, Luffy x Nami. The 3 of them go with Kobe to find an extra boat to go off to sea with. Let's just say when Alvida was talking, when the goons told her, she thought it was Zoro. So when she went there and she was like, oh, I thought it was Zoro. And then when they got on like the boat with Kobe, they asked, who's Zoro? And then Kobe's like, you don't know who he is? He's a demon. He's a pirate hunter. And this kind of intrigues Luffy, Ace, and Sabo. And they're like, we want to meet him. Where is he? Kobe says that he's being held at a marine base. And they ask why. He's like, I don't know. But we can go to the island. They all say, yeah. So when they get to the island, they go search for Zoro. When they mention Zoro's name, everyone gets frightened. And same as the Navy person, Marine person. I forgot his name. Axam Morgan. So they're confused, and they go into like this restaurant bar place. That's when they see the little girl. And the little girl explains everything. And we're not going to say that she was there yet, because let's just say they got there earlier. So when they get there earlier, I'm going to say everything happens a little earlier because I just want to speed things up. And that's when Axam Morgan's son, I forget his name too, walks in. And he's like, I'm going to kill that bounty hunter Zoro. This pisses off Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. So they get up and just beat the shit out of him. And he's like on the ground, like bloody mess. And he's like, I'm gonna call my dad. They're like, we don't care. And he's just shocked because he's never heard anyone say that. So they go to the Marine base and jump over. And Zoro's like, what are you doing here? And Luffy immediately is just like, you know they're gonna kill you, right? He's like, what? He's like, yeah, I just heard that Marine's son just say he's gonna kill you. Oh, and by the way, everyone looks the same as in this picture. Like, Luffy's like built the same as in Wano. Ace looks the same, and Sabo looks the same, except Sabo doesn't wear the blue. He wears like kind of like bluish black, I guess. And don't like picture the fire as like clouds. Okay, so after they tell Zoro that, Zoro's just pissed. He's like, and then Luffy's just like, well, since they're about to kill you, do you want to join my pirate crew? And then Zoro's like, fuck it, why not? And then Luffy was just like, I hear you use swords. You need me to get them for you? He was like, yeah, I do. Could you? And then we're gonna say that during the training, he learned like the 6 powers. I don't know. I just want to make him super OP. So he gets like the swords really quick, like really, really quick. And he brings them to Zoro. Zoro's just like, what? How'd you get him that quick? And then Luffy's just like, I can use Haki and the 6 powers. And Zoro's just like, what's that? And then Luffy was just like, never mind. I'll tell you on the ship. Let's just go. And then Axel Morgan sees them. And he's like, what are you doing? And Luffy's just like, oh, we should deal with him now. So Luffy just like gets behind him, does like a quake on him, and then just knocks him out, and then conquers Haki the rest of the Marines. So they don't celebrate because they don't know that they all hated him. But yeah, so like that punch that he did on Axel Morgan is like enough to put him in a coma for like a month. So as they are just knocked out, he's in a full-blown coma. So when they wake up, they're all happy. Yeah. And Luffy tells them that he did it and that I want Helmeppo, I think that was his name, and Kobe to join the Marines. And they're like, all right. Well, he does like the same act, actually. I forget what he said, though. And yeah, so that all goes the same. They leave, and they go to Buggy's place. But on the way to Buggy's place, he's like talking to him about Zoro. He's talking to Zoro about Haki and about the 6 powers and how he got like, about how he was trained, who he was trained by. And Zoro's just like trying to take all this information in. He's like, you got trained by some of the biggest names ever. Shanks, Whitebeard, Mihawk. And then Luffy was just like, yeah, I can beat Mihawk, not in a sword battle, but if I use my Devil Fruit abilities, I can. He was like, Devil Fruit abilities? What do you mean? He's like, oh yeah, my Devil Fruit has power of 7 other Devil Fruits. He's like, what? And then Luffy was just like, yeah, I can, you know Whitebeard's Devil Fruit? I have that one. I have one called Element Fruit, which I don't think anyone has found yet, but I have control over water, earth, fire, air, lightning, darkness, space, time, light, etc. And like blood, ice, healing. And then my other one's Angel, which I have wings, and he shows them to him. And then white flames that can heal. And then my other one's Immortal, which makes me, whatever damage I take, it just instantly regenerates. And then, what's the other one? I forget. It's, shit. Oh, yeah, the one where you can make food out of any object. So, he's just been, like, getting, like, pieces of scrap and then like turning it right into food for everyone. So like they don't have to pay much. They don't really have to do much. And then the next fruit was the dodo fruit, or the mochi mochi no mi. And then the gum gum fruit. And with the gum gum fruit, he knows gear. Fuck it. Let's just say he knows gear 4, honestly. So he doesn't have to train much. And Zoro is just like shocked. He's like, "What the fuck? What is my captain?" And then Ace said, "I ate a devil fruit like his, except it gives me 3 abilities. Gave me the ice fruit ability, the lightning fruit ability, and then the flame fruit ability." Zoro again is shocked, and then Sabo's just like, "Me too." And I have the cloud fruit, which is a Logia that lets me turn into clouds and fly, and the Opi no Mi, which is known as before our devil fruits, it was known as the most powerful one in the world. Zoro's just like, "What the fuck?" Oh yeah, and we're brothers, they say. And then Zoro's like, speechless. He's like, "I don't even know." So they start teaching Zoro Haki, but then they get to Buggy's Island. But in this, Buggy realizes the hat a lot sooner, and then he's like, "Oh shit, this is Shank's kid. Like, maybe I shouldn't mess with him." And then, but Buggy's like, "Whatever, fuck it. I doubt he's special." And then Nami still plays like the whole like, "Hey captain," and then he's like, "Yeah." And so they're playing along, except this time he doesn't get into the thing. Well, yeah, he does, but when he gets like mad, when he says fire a cannonball, he just like grabs the bar and just throws it, and he's like, "What the fuck? How'd you break out of that?" And then he's like, "Buggy, I'm tired of your shit. Get out of this town before I beat your ass." And then Buggy's like, shut up. Like, I'm not leaving. And then, since Luffy's overpowered here, he just claps Buggy. Like, it's nothing. And I'm gonna say that, like, that little, like, whole lion thing to, like, the pet store still happens, because that was, like, a big thing for Luffy and Nami, like, for her to trust him. And that all happens the same, and he beats the shit out of that lion. And Luffy and Nami joins the crew. They leave half the gold. They leave most of the gold there because he can create food and shit. So, but they take a little bit because, you know, it's Nami. And Luffy was like, "Why are you stealing all this money? Like, there has to be a reason." And she's like, "Yeah, I want to get 100 million berries." And he's like, "Yeah, but what's the reason behind that?" And she's like, "I just want to." And he's like, "I can tell you're lying. Tell me the truth." So she's like, okay. So my hometown is being run by Arlong the pirate, the fishman pirate. And then he's like, "You know what, fuck it. Let's just go there now, and then we'll go to the Baratie, because I can create food for now." Because, I don't know, there's no need for Sanji to be there, honestly. So they just go there then, and then they all just jump on the island and then just walk. Oh yeah, they're gonna get Usopp after this. So yeah, they just walk up to Arlong, and then they just walk up to Arlong Park, because it wasn't one of those days where like they get money. So they walk up to Arlong Park, and then Luffy destroys the wall, and immediately, and like on the way there, Luffy was explaining what he did to him and like the room and shit. So he was like, "Okay, I gotta get rid of that fucking room." So he uses, what should he use? Let's just say he uses the element fruit, and then he uses earth, and then he makes like a big ass earth ball in the air, and then drops it on Arlong Park, like before he crushed the wall. And then right when it drops, he crushes the wall, shocking everyone there. And then, so in the water, he shocks the water with lightning. Well, I'm gonna say that Ace did that, and then so they can't go in the water to fight, and they just beat the shit out of Arlong and his subordinates. But like, he's so pissed that he was like, why the fuck would you do that to Nami? Like, that's... And then she was like blushing the whole time. She had his hat and everything. She was like still stabbing herself. I don't know why, but I'll just say she was. He gave him the hat, and then he gave her the hat, and then he kills him. Yeah, let's just say he kills him, because he's like, you're done. Like, you don't get a second chance after what you fucking done. And I'm pretty sure he killed him in canon. If I'm not wrong, he dropped a whole ass building on his ass. So, yeah. What next? So after that, they all go to like the to like that restaurant to eat, and everything. They do everything, and then so when they go to the grave of Luffy, Nami's mom, the pinwheel dude is still there, like, pouring the sake, and Luffy went there too, and he poured sake, and he, like, I don't know why he would, but I don't know, let's just say he did. And he talks to the pinwheel dude, and pinwheel dude is like, you better not hurt her, and shit. And he's like, why would I hurt her? I love her. And then he realized what he said, and he was like, what the, he just got, like, bright red, and then he just ran away. And then pinwheel dude just started laughing, and let's just say Nami was walking up, and she heard it all, and then she was shocked, and she's like, wow. She was, like, blushing like crazy. And yeah, so the next day they go on the ship, and they head to Syrup Village. I'm pretty sure that's where Usopp, that whole thing. So when they get to the Usopp's thing, and then they dock, when Usopp still runs around, no one believes him, and he goes with his, like, 4 little minions, or 3 little minions, I forget, and then he, like, points the slingshot, and then Luffy's just like, bro, I know it's 3 little kids and 1, like, 16-year-old, and then he, like, what the fuck, and then he points the slingshot at him, like, with the lead ball, and Luffy's just like, I forget what Shanks said, but he said the, like, badass line, and Sanji was, and let's just make Sanji more of a badass in this. So he shoots, he's like, fuck it, but then before it hits him, Luffy just catches it, shocking him, because he's like, what the fuck. So Usopp, like, falls, and then Luffy was just like, oh shit, are you Yasopp's kid? And then Usopp's just like, yeah, how do you know him? And then Luffy's just like, I was on Red-Headed Shanks' pirate crew. Your, whatever it's called, your dad is on his crew too. He taught me a little bit of shooting. And I'm gonna say he did, because why wouldn't he? He was with the Shanks pirate. He was with the Red-Headed Pirates for so long. Why the fuck wouldn't he? And yeah, let's just say he carries, like, a gun on his side at all times. So, like, it's hidden that, like, the only thing you can see on him, like, weapon-wise, is the sword. So when they go to eat, they go to talk, and then he still leaves to go to whatever her name is, and then they're all like, shit, we need a new ship. We're probably gonna, like, recruit this boy, so we're gonna need a bigger ship soon. We got too many people already for that ship. And then they all go to where they asked, like, the 3 little kids where he went, and they all go to him. They still go, like, over to, like, the tree where Usopp always goes, but like, I forget, fuck, it was Cujo or something. And then Cujo, like, walks out, and he's like, you shouldn't be here, you pirate scum. And then instantly by the face, Luffy's just like, oh shit, that's like the man of 1,000 plans. He's probably planning something right now. And then Luffy jumps down, knocks the shit out of him, ties him up and everything. And then it wasn't like a hard ass punch, it was like a, I don't know, 1 minute knockout. It was like enough time for him to wrap him up in, like, I would say wrap him up in dough. Yeah, wrap him up in dough, because why the fuck not? And he, like, oh wait, no. Let's just say he wraps him up with earth. Yeah, why not? So, when he wraps him up with earth, then he wakes up about a minute later, and then she's just like, why did you do that? He's my butler, like, you shouldn't be doing that, man. And then he, like, pulls out, like, a little booklet. Let's just say, like, a little pouch, and then he pulled out a little booklet, and he, like, shows her the wanted poster, and then he shows her his face, and she's like, what? And, like, I was like, he was like, yeah, he was probably trying to steal your money or some shit. He probably has, like, 100 pirates on a ship somewhere about to attack. And then, Cujo, man, was like, how'd you know? And I was like, and then he was like, I saw by your fucking face. I have this booklet on me at most times. So, yeah. And I'm gonna make Luffy a little bit smarter, because, yeah, no, why the fuck would I not? And, yeah, so, I'm gonna say, like, Arlong's island from Usopp's island was only, like, a few hours, because I was gonna do something with not Luffy and Nami, but I forgot, so let's just say it was only a few hours. Yeah, so they take care of the Cujo pirates or whatever, like, pretty quick. He knocks them all out with Conqueror's Haki, and then he uses, like, a big-ass water wave to just push them all away with Cujo on it. And then that girl, I keep forgetting her name, but Usopp's, like, girlfriend or whatever, buys them the Mary. And first thing, when they step on the ship, and Usopp's, like, a part of the crew, the first thing Luffy does is tell Usopp that eventually this ship will break. You have to be ready for that. The ship won't stand through everything, especially if we're going through the Grand Line. Usopp was like, okay, yeah, I understand that, but we still have to treat it like a crew member. And then Luffy was like, yeah, of course, but even if we do treat it like a crew member, it's still eventually gonna break on us, because we're gonna go through a lot, most likely. So, yeah, on the way to Baratier, let's just say, actually, no. So, on the way to the Baratier, whatever it's called, yeah, when they get to the Baratier, they sit, they eat and everything, and, I forget, that Marine dude, he's there, and he, like, ordered, like, a specific wine. Sanji did the whole thing, and this is, like, intriguing Luffy. He's like, this dude's cool, and he can fight. I kind of want him on my crew, and he can cook, so, yeah, I want him on my crew. So, later, Luffy talks to Sanji, and he's like, can you join my crew? I can teach you, like, haki. We can, I know you're a cook, so we can probably find, like, the all blue eventually. And then this intrigues Sanji, but he's like, no. And then that, like, Redfoot Zeph dude is, like, listening. He's like, Sanji, go. We don't need you here anymore. We have a bunch of other cooks. Even though you're our best, we still don't need you. I want you to go on your own. So Sanji's just like, okay. Oh, and by the way, the whole, like, cannon into the ship didn't happen because, let's just say they didn't have cannonballs yet. Yeah. So when like that dude shows up, like the one who's like the Don Kree like right hand man shows up, and Sanji feeds him, and then Luffy's like, I can sense it. He's gonna bring a pirate here, and they're gonna try and overthrow this place. And then Sanji's like, all right, I'll just take care of him. He's like, and then Luffy's just like, you're way in over your head. Like, I got it, but just don't. Next time, don't do that. He's like, all right. So when Don Kree gets there, he starts like trying to fight, and then let's just say Ace goes up to fight. Sabo comes up to fight, and he hasn't found out like that like pebble and like switch place thing. Like I'm gonna say he finds it out when they leave the Baratier. Like right when they leave, he's gonna like find it out. But right now he doesn't know, and he got hit into the water by accident, and he's drowning. So Luffy's just like, uh-oh, I gotta save him. And then everyone's like, you can't swim, you had a devil fruit too. He's like, yeah, but one of my things is controlling water, so I'll be fine. And they're like, okay. So he jumps in, and then Sabo's like already at the bottom. He's like, oh shit. So he boosting water and air to get him down there faster. And when he's down there, he sees a devil fruit. He's like, what the fuck? So he grabs that and brings him up. And he like hides the devil fruit from everyone because like Don Creek's there. It's just gonna cause more of a ruckus. So he like blitzes to like gears, like his regular speed is like double gear second, and gear second is like quadruple gear second, and then Snake Man's like quadruple Snake Man. Yeah, around that, I guess. He's like really quick. So he blitzes to the ship, places him down, and goes to his room, puts the devil fruit in there, goes to Don Krieg, and goes to Don Krieg. He uses his, let's just say he uses his angel. So wings pop out of his back, and Don Krieg's like, what the fuck? And let's say the wings, like, Hogs from My Hero Academia? Like, his feathers can do that, and his wings are bulletproof. Like, they're strong as fuck. Like angels, so what do you expect? So, yeah, and so he, fires a bunch of these, steel... Not steel, but, as hard as steel feathers at him. And then he can encode them in hockey, but there's no point, because they can already break through the armor. And then he adds a little bit of white flame to each feather, and then it burning him, and he jumps into the water and runs away. But before he can run away, of course, the ship gets sliced in half by Mihawk. Instantly. Luffy's just like, oh, Mihawk's here. And then I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I know this. He's like, yeah, I know this flash from anywhere. And then okay. And then Luffy's just like, all right, Zoro, I've taught you a good amount of observation and armament. You want to spar with him? I'll tell him not to kill you. And he's like, yeah. So he goes to spar. Same thing happens, except he gets him to use the big sword for a lot longer, and it lasts a lot longer. So Zoro feels good with himself, and then he also, of course, gets that slash, and then he makes that speech. So yeah, that all goes the same. They leave, except Arlong happens, so they just go right to Logtown. So when they're at Logtown, everyone splits up, but this time, Luffy's already been there, so he's like, whatever, I don't really give a fuck. It's the last place in the East Blues, or before the Grand Line, so I'll just go with you, Nami. So they, talk, and then when they, let's just say they finish, 2 hours earlier than everyone, because they weren't really doing much. They didn't have much berries. But when they get to Grand Line, they will. So, what should I do? By the way, Smoker is on like an island before them, like the island behind them, because they got there a lot earlier because they dealt with Arlong a lot quicker, and same as the Cujo pirates or whatever, those like cat dudes, whatever, on Usopp's island. That all happens quicker. Baratier happens quicker. No like thing to Arlong, so it's all just a lot quicker. That's why Smoker's not there. So when he's on the ship alone with Nami, he's like, Nami, can I talk to you real quick? And then she's like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, okay, I need to tell you this, and I've been just wanting to say this since thing with Arlong and shit. She's like, okay, what? And she, in her head, she's like, I think I know. He's like, I love you. And she's like, she starts blushing like crazy, and he's like, I understand if you don't, but, and then he just cuts off, and then she kisses him. So yeah, that's that. And then nothing happens yet, but I don't know, let's just say they're cuddling while talking to each other for the next 2 hours. And when everyone gets back, they all like walk in and they see them and they're like, ooh, and Sanji's just like, what the fuck? No fair. And then Luffy like teleports behind him. Well, not teleports, but runs, but it looks like he's teleporting. And like behind him, he's like, what'd you say? And Sanji was like, nothing. And then Luffy's just like, oh, Nami, I want to give you something. Can you come with me? And she starts blushing, thinking like, in her mind, it's too soon. Like she's thinking that. And then they go into his room. She's like, and she's like speechless. And then he like goes into a drawer and she's like, what the fuck is he pulling out now? And he pulls out a devil fruit and she was like, wait, what? And then so Luffy was like, he was doing research and he found out that this one is called the weather no mi. So it can create like tsunamis. Let's just say it can create tsunamis, earthquakes, like not in, like the earthquakes will be bigger when she awakens it, but that won't happen for a long time. She can like draw water out of the air and create like rain, thunder, lightning, or like it's all the same, but yeah, so she has full control over the weather now. Well, if she eats it, what am I saying? Not if she eats it, when she eats it. So he's like, this is called the weather no mi. This is gonna be good for you since you are a navigator and I know you like the weather a little bit. She's like, yeah. I'm like, and he's like, well, I want to give this to you. She's like, really? It's such a powerful devil fruit and I'm just the navigator. And then he's like, just take it. Like, if we find anything else, like if it's everyone else, like, I want you to have it. And then she's like, okay. And then he's like, it'll taste like shit, but just eat it all. She's like, all right. So she eats it. She's like, whoa, I feel like different. Oh, and the weather is a paramecia, since it's not like one thing like fire. It's a bunch of different things. So yeah, so she eats that, and then they all get ready for dinner. Sanji won that competition, so they're eating that. Oh wait, I said everything happens earlier. Well, yeah, let's just say they had that competition earlier. So they eat that, and then yeah, so that happens, and then they tell them all that they're dating, and then that she eats the weather fruit. They're all just like, that's a lot of fucking information. They're like, everyone's like, I know. And then Luffy's just like, I know, but now she's going to be training with us in Devil Fruits and Haki. We're all going to be training in Haki soon. We're going to start training in Haki tomorrow. And they're about to head to the Grand Line, so I'll just, like, start it. I'll start when they get to, like, Vivi, and then I'll end it. So it'll be, like, 5 minutes or something. Okay, so they're heading to the Grand Line, and they're heading to, like, the Reverse Mountain or something. I don't even know. So when they get up the Reverse Mountain, they meet Laboon, except this is different. He doesn't eat them. They see, like, how would I do this? Oh, since Laboon's, like, caretaker, or, like, the doctor dude, was an old Roger pirate, they went there with Shanks once, so he knows, so he knows Laboon, and Laboon's, like, chill with him, so they don't try and eat. He's just like, what's up, Laboon? And they go through, like, the hatch on its head. So when they get there, they see the old man, and Luffy's just like, hey, what's up? Like, how's it going? And shit. And he's like, oh, it's good, blah, 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 blah. Their ship's out there, and, like, Laboon's making sure it's, like, not gone. So they find out that people are trying to kill Laboon, and, like, this, like, ticks off Luffy a bit, because he, like, likes Laboon. Shit, he, like, knows who Laboon is. So he, like, goes to Vivi and them, just knocks them the fuck out. Then he throws them on the ship and heads to, I forgot what it's called, Whiskey Peak or something? I don't know. But when they get there, they're all like, oh, pirates, 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 yay, whatever. And, we're just gonna say that Luffy is like, alright, something's up. Just keep your guard up all night, even if we drink. Just, like, don't drink too much. And, yeah, just, like, keep your guard up at all times. Everyone's just like, alright, we will. And then that's around when Vivi wakes up. And Luffy is like, why are you trying to kill the whale? And then she's like, well, and then he, like, kept questioning her and shit until he found out about crocodile and shit, and he's like, I'll beat his ass. And she's like, he's a warlord, you can't, or I think he's a warlord, I'm not sure. If I'm not wrong, he is, but she's like, you can't beat him, no, he ate a devil fruit. I'm like, and he's like, and then Luffy's just like, dude, I have a devil fruit that gives me ability of 7 other devil fruits, so I think I'm fine. She's like, what? And he starts, like, laughing. And then, yeah, so he's like, alright, I'm gonna go to Alabasta soon. I'll take you with us and shit. Like, you'll be fine. So, I want to say something, like, I know this, I'm pretty sure this is already a fruit, but, like, where you can make an object, like, create anything you want instead of just food. But I'm gonna make the Kiki, I don't even know what it's called, but it's a fruit that lets him turn an object into food. I'm gonna say he awoke in it, and now he can turn any, like, literal thin air into food, and he can also turn objects into anything he wants. So it's really OP now. And let's say on that fruit, there's, like, 2 stages of awakening, and he's at the first stage, about to hit the second stage. So soon he'll be able to create, like, stuff out of nothing. So yeah, and I just want to make him as OP as possible because I'm bored, and I'm trying to just rush through this, as if you can't tell. Like, it's been 15 minutes and I'm already in close to Alabasta. So, well, that's a long time. Whatever. So, what happens next? Oh yeah, when they leave, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, so they all keep their guards up. They're all awake and everything. So when they try to attack, they just fucking wipe the floor with them. Like, Luffy just does one wide ass range conquers hockey, knocking out everyone. And then when number like 5 and shit comes there, and the Ton girl, when they all go there, he just like beats the shit out of them. He's like, this is nothing. Then he hops on there. Then he goes on the ship, and then Nico gets there. She tries to take the hat again, but before she could even touch it, he has it. She's like, what? And then before she could even like, right when she blinked, he was behind her, and then he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? She's like shitting herself. She's like, what? And then he can sense like she's not trying to kill. She's in it for something else. And he's like, you're not trying to kill, are you? Why are you here? And she's like, why? And he was like, I'd rather not. Why are you working with Crocodile? And she was like, because I want to read the poneglyphs. And he's like, oh shit, you can read poneglyphs? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, damn, wanna join our crew? We're about to go kill him. She's like, what? He's like, yeah, I have the natural counter to his devil. I'm basically his natural counter to his devil fruit. I can draw water out of thin air, and out of how deep the ground is, I can still draw water if there's water near. Anywhere there's moisture, below me or above me, I can draw water out of. He says. She's like, what? And then he's like, yeah, we're about to head there now, but first we're going to Little Garden. She's like, you shouldn't go there, you should go And he's like, nah, I'm going to Little Garden. Because I heard it's pretty cool. And she's like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, do you want to join the crew or you want to stay with Crocodile? She's like, I'll join the crew. And he's like, yeah, I thought about that. He's like, yeah, I thought so. And then she joins the crew then and there, because he can like sense emotion, aura, and like, yeah, I guess that, and feelings. But he doesn't really use the feeling thing too much because he doesn't really like it, or the aura thing, just for the intentions. Like, he can sense someone's intentions. And so, yeah, they go to Little Garden, they meet the big giants, and then he's like, why are you two fighting? And they're like, we don't know, we've been fighting for like 100 years. And he's like, just stop fighting. And they're like, nah. So they just don't stop fighting. That goes quick. The whole like attack thing just, it really doesn't even matter, because since he's mad OP now, it's like he just wipes the floor with them. He's like, this is nothing. When can I get a challenge? And everyone's shocked, like, what the fuck? He just beat the strongest out of like almost all of them? How the fuck is that possible? And then he's like, anyone else want to go against me? And everyone's like, yeah, you can't beat you by yourself can't beat us all. We're like 100, not 100, but like we're all these different people. And then this didn't happen in canon, I don't think, but I don't know, I forget, it was mad long ago. But so yeah, so he just knocks them all out with Kongrasaki. He's like weak. And then they go to oh yeah, Nami does get bit by like that tick, whatever it was. But since they already have like a medic, because I don't like Chopper's the GOAT. Like, yeah, he is. He's dope and all. But like, he's other than medical, like Sabo would be a better replacement because he has a lot more fighting, better. First of all, in this, what if he's a better devil fruit? Because I don't know what other devil fruit I would give Chopper, since the only devil fruit he would have is the human fruit. So yeah, I just see it in this what if, I see it just staying as Sabo. So yeah, so Sabo doesn't have that type of medicine, but he knows what it is. So he's like, oh, we had to go to an island to get the medicine and shit. And he's like, and then Luffy's just like, no we don't, I can create it. So let's just say that he awakened the second part of the awakening. So now he can create anything, literally anything out of thin air. Kind of like Momo's quirk from MHA on crack. And yeah, so whatever it's called, Sabo's just like, alright, can you create this medicine, blah blah blah. And then I forgot what it's called, Dr. Rena said it sometime. And so Luffy does, and Nami's alright. And then they don't go to Drum Island, they just go right to whatever it's called. Sorry, I had to take a break. So I think we were talking about, oh yeah, they go to Alabasta. So when they get there, Luffy's not hungry. No one's hungry. They're not thirsty. Since he can create anything, he can create water and shit. So he's infinite supply of the shit that they need. And since he found low-key a loophole, and then he surprised Nami with let's just say 2 billion berries, just all in one room. And she got the berry eyes. you know how she does. And she hugs him and everything, and she's like, thank you. And so in Alabasta, they're more laid back. They go shopping and shit. So when they drop everything back on the ship, they go right to they head right to Crocodile. But since they're in sand, and you know how I said the element thing is kind of like the Avatar, he learned how to sand bend pretty well, because he knew he was going to a sandy place. So he's like, okay, I gotta practice that. So he makes a little earth kind of like a little earth cart, or like an earth sled, yeah. And then he takes it, and then they all go then he uses his air and sand manipulation just to, actually no, scratch all that. He's been training his space manipulation a lot, so he just opens a space portal and just walks through it, and they're in front of him. So, and he already had water on him, so he just dumped all the water on him and shit. He's doing water bullets with the water manipulation. And then he's just getting his ass kicked. And then he starts doing some of the water stuff with armament hockey. And he's just boom, boom, boom. And then he deals with him real quick. And then the King of Alabasta finds out. He's like, oh, thank you. They bring him to the Navy, the Marines, and they lock him up. I'm pretty sure that's what they did. I'm not even sure. And so they have a big party and everything. But in this, I'm gonna do the ship as another ship as. So it's gonna be Robin, Zoro, Luffy, Nami. Oh yeah, Ace, Vivi. Sanji's gonna have Boa. I know this probably sounds retarded, but I don't know. We just can't leave Boa out, you know? And we're gonna have Sabo with Reggie, I think her name is, Sanji's sister. So that's about that. And then Usopp, of course, with that girl that wants to be a doctor. The chick that had the disease at Sierra Village, like his fuck, I forget her name, but the really sick girl, fuck, the one who likes Usopp. I don't even know. Yeah. So they leave. They leave Alabasta, and I gotta search up what happens next because I forget. Be right back. Alright, so I'm confused on what happens next, so I'm just gonna skip to when they get to that island where they saw Blackbeard for the first time and like the whole pie thing and shit. So, and Bellamy was it? Ah, fuck, I don't know. The thing with like the spring feet, I forget his name. I'm just gonna call him Spring Feet for now. So, yeah, they get to that island with Spring Feet and, oh shit, we haven't even talked bounties. Okay. Since they found out he has 7 different fucking devil fruits, it's gonna be, he defeated Crocodile, I would say, 450 million? 500 million, fuck it, why not? And then Ace is gonna be 400 million, and Sabo is gonna be 375 million. Then Zoro's gonna be 350 million. Oh shit. Let's just say Zoro has a fruit called the slice fruit. So, literally, it allows him to slice through anything. Even like hockey, he can slice through. It's fucking insane. It's like, and he's our OPS already. But if he went up to a fucking gold block, like a mile wide, he could still slice it with that fruit. It's crazy. And yeah, you might think that I'm giving like everyone like devil fruits. Fuck it, I am. Cause Luffy can swim. He's not gonna let anyone die on his crew. We all know that. So it doesn't really matter. And Nami can like move water to her will basically. So she'll be fine. All of them will be fine. Sabo can like switch with a pebble or whatever. Ace can teleport with the lightning. Like they're all fine. Usopp's gonna have a 200 million berry bounty because he's on the crew, and let's just say he has a gun that can hold his stars, like those flame stars and shit. Like instead of having like the Kabuto and shit, he's gonna have like a nice ass pistol, and then that can hold all of his stars and shit, and like reload it as easy as Kabuto. It can hold it's like the perfect weapon for him. And with this, whatever he shoots out of it, with this devil fruit, whatever he shoots, he can manipulate the bullet to go faster, make it be stronger, make it like explode later, sooner, whenever the fuck he wants, he can do it. So he has full control over the bullet when it launches out of his gun, or when he even if he throws a fucking bullet, he can still do it. So yeah, so that's a perfect thing for him. And Robin's still gonna have the whatever that fruit's called, I forget. Okay, yeah. So Luffy 500 million. Ace 475 million. I don't know if I'm changing these, but this is gonna be the final right now. All right, Luffy 500 million, Ace 475 million, Sabo 450 million, Zoro 400 million, Nami 300 million because they found out her fruit and they're like, oh shit, she's powerful. Sanji, let's just say he had a fruit that makes it it's like the magma fruit, except only for his bottom half. Like he can like kick like lava balls to people. He can like make his foot lava. So it's like a Logia at the bottom of his feet, like his legs. It's just all Logia. So it's weird, but it's cool for him. And his bounty, let's say 300 million, or maybe 350 million, something like the same as Zoro's, I would say. And then Robin, since she just joined, 100 million, because her bounty was already like 80 million, right? I'm pretty sure. And I think that's it. If I didn't do Usopp, then it's gonna be like 200 million, like not much, because he's like been kind of a coward, not as much as in canon, but like he's been kind of a coward until he got his devil fruit, and that was like pretty fucking recently. So yeah, they don't really know much. Alright, so let's get to that place where, like, the spring feet dude. I know this what if is all over the place, but it's my first what if. I'll get used to it eventually. So when they get to that place, that dude sees all their bounties. He's like, fuck. He's like, shit. But then he's like, you know what? Fuck. They're probably just like, they probably just overthink of them. Probably not, they're probably nothing. And he's talking all this shit. And then he walks in, and then Nami this time isn't just like, don't fight. She's like, dude, if you need to fight, beat their ass, because she ain't having none of that. So yeah, that all goes down. He tries to fight them. They just, like, in one swift blow, he just knocked out. Everyone's like, what? How'd you knock out Bellamy? Oh, not Bellamy. I don't fucking know his name. How'd you knock out Springfeet in one punch? And then Luffy's just like, it was like, he's weak. Blackbeard's just like over there, just like, nah, in the back. Like, he knows who Straw Hat Luffy is. He's like, fuck, I shouldn't get on his bad side. Because he knows, I don't think he knows, like, yeah, he doesn't know he can manipulate space, time, and darkness and light, because he hasn't really showed it, because he never really had to. He only really used it when whatever the fuck it's called, when he got to Crocodile, when they wanted to get there fast, because they didn't want to walk through all that fucking sand. So yeah, So, Blackbeard wasn't like, I want to get on his good side. Blackbeard's just like, I want his devil fruit. He's like, I want that shit. And then Luffy's like, fuck, Blackbeard's here? He wants my fucking devil fruit? And you already know, I'm gonna make Blackbeard a bit more overpowered. So, let's just say there's something called the wet fruit. The sun fruit, which allows him to, like, completely control, like, some of the hottest flames in the world. Like, of course, Ace eventually will get hotter flames, but not right now. So, yeah, and then, yeah, so he's like, fuck, I'm about to just take that fucking devil fruit from him. I'm about to, like, take his whole career. And then he's like, all right, so he starts, like, walking up to him, and then right away, Luffy, like, manipulates space around him, so, like, it cuts off his arm, and he's like, and it's, like, space-induced hockey, because I think in One Piece world, you can, like, put hockey into fucking anything, and, yeah, so he, like, puts hockey into it, so he can't, like, his darkness Logia doesn't do shit. He's like, he's like yelling and shit, and he's like, oh, Blackbeard. I'm making it so he can, like, one-shot everyone. It's gonna be, because I just want to get through this. Honestly, I don't even know. I just had this in my notes for months, so I just want to get it over with. So, yeah, so he just cuts off his other arm. He's like, he's like yelling and shit. And then, just to put him through more hell, Sabo, like, uses Law's fruit and, like, makes his arms go back, and then he cuts them off again, screaming. He keeps doing that, And then once he's done, Luffy's like, you don't fuck with my crew. And then he cuts his head off. And that's that. Because they heard what Blackbeard did and who Blackbeard is. So they're like, shit, he's a bad fucking dude. So they take out all the fruits. And they're like, holy shit, these are a lot of fucking fruits. And a lot of powerful ones too. It's the wet fruit, the sun fruit, sun fruit. I might change some of their devil fruits, but I'm not sure, because I kind of want one of the Straw Hats to have the dark fruit. Who should that be, though? Brooke? No, he already ate a devil fruit. What the fuck am I saying? Wait, but Brooke's already dead, so he can't die, can he? I might just put that logic into this one what if. Because if Brooke had the dark fruit, that'd be so lit. Let's just say that Luffy, he can create like a space where like it cancels out all devil fruits. So like it like Logias will stop working, all that shit will stop. And he can like manipulate the devil fruits. So when he finds out he can do this, he's like, fuck, I'm about to make my crew OP. He just awakens all their devil fruits. I know, I'm making them all OP, I'm making him OP. I don't care. I said at the beginning, if you don't like people OP, then click off. So yeah. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, with when they don't have their devil fruit abilities thing, they can eat another one, and then once they eat it and it goes back, it's like they're fine. Like that's my logic. I think that would work, right? I don't know, but so with Zoro, they give the wet or the wet or the sun cut and sun. I don't know. This is hard. I'm giving the dark fruit to Brooke, 100%. Like that shit's sick. But if we're giving him the dark fruit, we need to make everyone else overpowered. So Nami thing is awakened, so now she can like completely control water, earth, and lightning at her will, and a little and like not like air like should I? Yeah, fuck it, air. So she basically is element control, but like not fire. And I think with an awakened fuck. And let's say he also had a mythical Zoan. I don't know, fuck it, why not? So the mythical Zoan will be a mythical Zoan. So it'll be like a phoenix, but like it's red, not blue like Marco's. It's another phoenix one, but it's not the same as Marco's. It doesn't have like this one is weaker. It doesn't have healing capabilities. So it's like so it's like Marco's thing without the whole the healing factor. So that will go to Usopp, because I feel like he needs a bit more power. And then the sun one will go to well, since Zoro's been a beast and always will be a beast, I'm gonna give him the wet and the sun. Why the fuck not? So he has that. And then he gives Nami the so you know how I said there's another devil fruit that can like create stuff out of objects? Like, and that's like the original one, not like food. So she's gonna get that one, but when he awakens it, she can create anything out of thin air, just like him. So she's like happy with that because she also has weather control. Sanji, let's say all of his things are just lower half of his body. So he gets ice at the lower half of his body. I feel like that's all he needs because he already has like, well, this is confusing. And then lightning on the lower half of his body because why the fuck not? So you can do all that. You can still teleport with the thing, with the lightning. And, Robin, we'll give her... because she's known as Demon Child, we'll give her the Demon Fruit. What's that, you might ask? It's like Luffy's fruit, except it's black wings, same strength, same everything as the white wings. Like, the feathers can do the same. And same, like, the fire's the same heat, but her fire's black. So it, like, fits her name, I guess. So... excuse me, and so it fits her a lot better. I feel like that's all I'm gonna give her, and then they head off to that man's like house, like the half house, and the other half since Skypiea, that man. So when they get there, they see like half of his house, and we'll say Sabo's been there. He's like, oh shit, the other half of the house is in Skypiea. And then they're like, and then Luffy's like, for real? And then the old man comes up. He's like, so Sabo heals him. And then when he gets better, he's like, yo, you know the other half of this house is in Skypiea, right? He's like, wait, that shit's real? He's like, yeah, I have a devil fruit that allows me to fly, so I've seen it. Like, with all of his devil fruits, Luffy can fly, but he just doesn't really care enough to. And along with all this, like, Luffy and Nami's relationship, it's just been going the same as from when they started, like, kiss, and then cuddle, and then that's really it. When they get to Skypiea, it'll get bigger and shit, but, like, well, actually, when they get out of Skypiea, it'll get, like, you know, more serious. But that's about it. So, yeah. He really hasn't been using the sword, huh? Yeah, whatever. I never wanted him to be a sword. Shit. Oops. I never really meant for him to be like a full-blown swordsman anyway, so I just wanted him to have the sword. So, yeah. So, okay, with this, the Mary, let's just say, it's taken so much damage because, like, I don't know, like, with all the devil fruits on deck and, like, all the training, it's been taking a lot of fucking damage, not just by them, but, like, also by, like, weather, not by, like, Nami, but, like, they've been running into bad fucking weather. So, it's gotten beaten up, like, from after they got out of Skypiea. It's, like, a low-key, a little bit worse than it. It's bad. So, well, no, it's the same as when they got out of Skypiea. So they're like, Luffy's like, okay, this ship's about to fucking fall on its ass. So, me, Sabo, Ace, I'll create a portal up there. All them like, okay. So he creates a portal. They walk up there. They're at, like, the beach where the ship arrives in original. So those women, that girl, like, goes, they find her and shit. Sanji's still, like, simping because he doesn't know who Boa is yet. But, you know, he can never catch a girl, even however much he simps. But, yeah, so, since Blackbeard's dead, the whole Marineford shit doesn't happen. But they still will be split up, except for, Sanji will go, fuck it, I'm not even gonna speak about it now. So when they get there, they're like, did you guys pay the fee? And they're like, what fucking fee? And like, to get in, you have to pay blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, no, we opened a portal and we came in. And she's like, open a portal? What the fuck? And he's like, yeah, that's one of my abilities. And she's like, one? Oh, whatever. He's like, I don't want to explain it right now. It's just like, just no. So, when he goes outside by himself, and then he gets struck by, like, whatever the fuck it's called. And then he's like, oh, who fucking did that? And you can, like, sense the energy from where it came. Immediately, not even thinking again, opens a fucking portal. He's like, you did that, didn't you, bitch? He's like, yeah, so what? And then he just infuses his fist with hockey, knocks his ass out, takes his devil fruit, and throws his ass into a jail cell. Everyone's like happy. Everyone's like, yeah. So you're the god now. And Luffy's just like, fuck no. My first rule as god is making the old god again. Not Enru, but the old man god. So that all happens. Like, his subordinates, the second they felt his energy leaving, they all rushed there. But by the time that happened, he already took his devil fruit out and shit. Sorry. He took his devil fruit out and shit, and then they're like, okay. So, that happened. And, yeah. They spend a little more time at Skypiea. Nami and Luffy, they have alone time together. So, you know, he's clapping some cheeks. And, yeah. Well, not really alone time. They're on the ship, and everyone's hearing them like, ugh. But on that same fucking night... Oh, did I mention Vivi joined the crew? My bad if I didn't mention. I'm giving the lightning fruit to Vivi. Completely fucking forgot that shit. And he gave the sand fruit to Vivi's dad. Yeah. So, yeah. So everyone's pretty overpowered now. Everyone knows hockey. At least Armorman hockey. Zoro, Nami, and that's about it. Have conquerors. And, yeah, on that same night, Luffy and Nami were fucking. Zoro and Robin, and then Vivi and Ace were all fucking. So, yeah. That all happened that night. Everyone's just like, my ears. And then, like, the first people to end, Zoro, for sure. That fucking, I don't even know. Probably him. And then it would have been, let's just say Ace, because why the fuck not? And then it was like 12 when, like 11:30 when Zoro stopped, and they started at like 8. Oh no, they started at 7. So that's what, 3.5 hours? And then it's 4 hours for him, and then until 2. That's fucking 7 hours for Nami and... Wait, shit, is my math wrong? They start at 7. Shit. Okay, so they all start at 7. Luffy ends at 2. So Luffy and Nami end at 2. That's when they're out for the count. So that's what? 5, 6, 7 hours. Holy shit, 7 hours. And then Ace and Vivi are stop at 12. So that's what, 5 hours? And then 4.5 hours for Robin and Zoro. So yeah, everyone's like, ugh. The next morning everyone's cranky except for Ace, Robin, Ace, Vivi, Robin, Zoro, Luffy, and Nami. Everyone's like death glaring them. They're like, what? And they're like, you six are so fucking loud. And they all just like blush. They're like, I'm gonna go eat breakfast in my room. They're like, yeah, you fucking better, and you better not smash again. And they'll just run. They're just like out for the embarrassment. And then, what happens after this? Here, hold on. Water 7 happens. So yeah. Oh, by the way, the dark fruit, I'm saving it for Brook, but for Luffy, he's saving it for the right crewmate, because everyone's already too overpowered, these things. And then he has it like in a safe, in a safe, in a safe, in a safe, in a safe. No one even knows he has it. So yeah. He's like, it's so boring, no one can fight me. Everyone in the crew looks at him with like a, are you dumb expression? He's like, what? He's like, they're all like, you're immortal, what the fuck? He's like, oh yeah, forgot. Well, he's like, well, I think if you drink my blood, you can become immortal too. Everyone's just like, what? I was like, yeah, y'all want to have a cup of my blood? They're like, to become immortal? Fuck yeah. He's like, dope, bet. He like slits, shit, I was about to say slit his wrist. But no, Sabo comes in. He does the good old, opie no me. Cuts him, takes the blood out, and puts it back without no injuries. And then they'll drink a glass of blood. I'm just saying that they can become immortal from drinking a glass of his blood. Because why the fuck not? Who doesn't want them to be immortal? Okay, so now they're immortal. And then he's like, don't think you can just be taking attacks. I think hockey would just destroy your immortality. So if you get your head cut off by hockey, yeah, you're done for. I don't think it's regeneration like me. I think it's like maybe an arm, maybe a finger. I'm not sure. Just don't test your luck. That's all he's saying. He's like, don't test your luck. Because that luck might be unlucky. They're like, yeah, we get it. And yeah, so when they get to water 7, they check it out. But first, like, he knows about Frankie, because I'm pretty sure Tom made the Roger Pirates first, like, their ship. So, whatever his name is, Shanks, has met Frankie. And he's like, yo, I know who Frankie is. He's like, I know who Frankie is, so let's go to him. He's a better shipwright, for real. And then, so, yeah, they have their ship, and they give him 500 million berries, because, they're rich now. So they don't really, so they give him 500 million berries, and he's gonna make the Sunny, like, the same. Literally the same. The Sunny's like the perfect ship, for real. Yeah. But yeah, so no stealing, no Usopp getting his ass kicked and feeling guilty. Plus, even if it did happen, Usopp wouldn't get his ass kicked. Yeah, CP9 tries to, convince Robin. Robin's just like, bruh, have you met my crew? My my captain can manipulate space and time. Shit, my fault. I'm like throwing bottles in the air. And then all stupid, I'm like, what? He can manipulate space and time? She's like, yeah. And he's listening right now, you idiot. I'm like, what? And then all they feel is something on their wrists. And what is it? C prism handcuffs. So, and I'm just gonna say, I don't remember if they ate devil fruits before they got Robin, or when they got to the Ennis lobby. I'm not sure. So I'm just saying that they got it like a lot before. All of them got theirs before. So he just like C prism thing theirs, takes all their devil fruits out. He's like Sabo. He's like, yo, Sabo, come here. Sabo's just like flying over there. He's like, yo, what? I was like, yo, get all these devil fruits out. We're about to sell a bunch of devil fruits. He's like, I bet. And then he like labels all of them, and then he puts them in like a jar. I guess. Not like a jar, whatever. Puts them all in a jar, labels the jar at what type of fruit, and the fruit, and like what type of fruit, yeah. And then yeah, so they knew they were gonna take him to Ennis lobby. So all that whatever his name is did, Luffy, all he did was teleport there or like open a space portal there, and then just I think if you have okay, so with his time, since he hasn't used this yet, with his time, he stops time. He destroys everything in Ennis lobby. I mean everything. Every last thing is destroyed. Even the whole Ennis lobby's in flames, destroyed, and like all like the bad people that were in there are out. Some survived, some died. Like nothing really matters, honestly. So when they get back, they all knew it was Luffy who did that to Ennis lobby. Garp like did come there, but he didn't give him like the fist of love and shit because he's like low key scared of him too. He's like, dude, this kid can fuck me up. And Luffy's like, yeah, right, I can fuck you up. And he's like, how the fuck did you know? And then Luffy's just like, I fucking guessed. So everyone's like, how the fuck do you know Garp? And he's like, oh shit, he's my grandpa. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, you didn't even know who my father was, right? They're like, no, who's your father? I was like, Dragon. He's like, what the fuck? Like, makes more sense now where you're such a god. He's like, hee. Alright, so I'm just gonna say they're all like, Luffy's 21, Nami's 21, but like she's older than him, but she's 21. Ace and Vivi are 20. Ace is 24, Vivi's 23. Sabo is 24, and Reggie is gonna be 24. How about they have the same birthday? Why the fuck not? That's all the ages I'm saying. I don't really care. Yeah. So, what do I do? It's like too overpowered now. What have I created? So when they get back to Water 7, like the whole iceberg thing don't happen. Their ship is almost done. He made time there go like he made time around them go faster, so they can work on the ship a lot faster. And then yeah. I'm tired as fuck. And yeah, so the Sunny's done, and then Luffy's just like, join our crew. Like, what the fuck not? And then Frankie's like, yeah, no. And then all the Frankie fans are like, join. And then he's like, fine. So he joins, and then I don't remember what happened, so I'm skipping to when they meet Brooke. They're at that like weird misty ass place, and then they stop and they see a ship floating by. They see a skeleton man drinking tea, a cane next to him, and a big ass afro. They're like, what the fuck? And the first thing Luffy says, join my crew. And then Brooke, as we know, Brooke is like, all right, bet. But first, I need to get my shadow back. And then everyone's like, what? And then Luffy's like, oh shit, that warlord's here, huh? And then Brooke's like, yeah, the one who can steal shadows. And he's like, all right, that'll be a piece of cake. Opens a portal, gets to him, kills him. Kills him. He's useless to the story. And then all the shadows disappear, get back. And he's like, I dealt with that. And he gets his shadow back. He's like, what? And then Brooke's just like, thank you. And then Luffy was like, I got another gift for you. And then everyone in the crew like now found out that he's a dark, and they're like, no, you're not. And he's like, he fits the criteria perfectly. And when I say perfectly, I mean fucking perfectly. A skeleton with a dark fruit? Why the fuck not? All right. That is how it. Yeah. So he cancels the revive fruit, but since he's already revived, it doesn't like kill him, cause that that fucking fruit isn't. I don't think it is his life. I think he has life. I think he just ate that quirk to get his life again. It's weird. I don't know. So. Yeah, like he gives him the dark fruit. Like he's like, how the fuck am I supposed to eat this? I was like, here, walk into here and then eat it. The second I tell you to eat it. All right. And then he's like, all right, but. And then 3, 2, 1, eat it. And then he eats it, and then he feels like powerful, and he's like, oh shit, it worked. And then he's like, I know, I told you it worked. And he sees that sword. He's like, yo, I sent something from that sword. What can it do? And he's like, oh, this? Oh, and then I don't know if he got that ice sword when the time skip happened, but I'm just gonna say he has it now, like the whole ice thing. And he's like, yeah, here. And then he freezes, like, part of the ocean. He's like, what the fuck? That's sick. He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then he's just like, my brain cell's running really low. All right, so they got him. They gave him the dark fruit. And then Brooke just showed him the whatever it's called, the sword he has, like the ice sword. So that happens, and yeah, my mouth is getting really dry from talking for a whole last hour and a half. So I'm gonna say a little bit more. And when he joins the crew, he sings, and everyone's like, oh shit, he can sing, that's dope. And then that night, Luffy and Nami, we're gonna go to their perspective. They're like walking and then talking, and then just they look into each other's eyes, and then they start making out. You know, they just making out for like 5 minutes, and then he picks her up by like the ass. Like, you know when she like, you know when the shit like wraps her legs around you? Like, I'm trying to, how do I say it right? Yeah, just like when you grab a girl by her ass or her thighs, and then it's like she wraps her legs around you, and her arms are like on your neck, shoulders, like back area, and then yeah, you're just like holding her like that. He grabs her like that and is still making out with her, and then he like pins her to the bed, and then he gets busy, but this time, she turns around when he's like about to bust. She turns around and she takes the wheel. He's like, wait, I'm about to bust, and he busts in her, and she's like, and she's like, gotcha. And then he's like, are you retarded? You could be pregnant. And then she's like, oh fuck. I'm like, and then Luffy was just like, did you not fucking think of that? She's like, no. I was like, if you are, I'll manipulate time to go 9 months ahead in a minute. You'll give birth. I'll make it be late in 2 seconds, and then we'll have a baby. Okay? And she's like, all right, bet. Now let's see. 9 months skip, and then he does like the time thing, and then like in just that room, it's just like 9 months skip, and then she's like giving birth, and he's like, all right, I got you here, and he's like, yo, nah, he's like, no, I ain't bringing them out, and he's like, all right, it's time, and he skips like 4 hours, like I think it takes a long ass time for a woman to give birth. And then he skips like 4 hours. He like uses his time thing to like make sure like in a second 4 hours goes by. And so yeah, that happens. And then so she was like screaming for a minute, but like he made the door noise thing. When she was giving birth, he doesn't care when they're having sex. He doesn't give a fuck if they hear him. But yeah, so she has a kid. And then they both have a kid now. And when they undo the door, everyone's like, can you shut up next time? And then they're like, next time won't be for a while. They're like, good. Wait, why? And then they're like, because we have a kid now. And they're like, you're pregnant? He's like, well, I was, but they're like, oh, sorry. And they're like, can you let me fucking finish? She's like, well, I was, until Luffy used his time until he used his time ability, and then skips 9 months, and then 4 hours into the to the birth, and then I gave birth literally like 2 minutes ago. Everyone's like, what? And then not Izuku, Luffy walks out with a baby in his hand, a little boy named Monkey D. Kaijiro. Monkey D. Kaijiro. I don't know. I guess that'll work. I don't really know what that name is. It just came to my head randomly. If that's someone's name, honestly, I don't even know. Monkey D. Kaijiro. Everyone's like, hi, blah, 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 blah. Like talking and shit. And like, yeah. So everything's going fine, and then that's where I'm gonna end it off. So yeah, Nami had a kid. They got Brooke. They got everyone on the crew now. And yeah, this is all for part 1. Already like 500 episodes in, but that's whatever. Peace out. I know this is bad. It's my first what if, and I'm really fucking tired. I haven't slept in about 2 hours, not 2 hours, in about 20, if I'm not wrong, it's 5 now, so if I didn't sleep since 8, that would be like 24. I haven't slept in 21 hours. So yeah, that's why I'm so slow and like raspy and shit. So yeah, my mouth is like dry and shit, so I'm gonna leave it off now. And this has been my first video, so that's also another reason why it's bad. Peace out. It's been What If Dark, and I'm out. like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, it's been my first video, well, my first real video, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. Peace out.